Yes.
My name is Chris Williams. First, I'd like to frame my discussion within the district's failure to conduct planning reports and environmental impact assessments consistent with the law. The district has failed to follow the law since 2006. 5 neighborhoods accounted for 30% of new housing from 2000 to 2020. The next 5 neighborhoods produced 10% of new housing. These 10 neighborhoods occupy only about 5% of the district's land area, which brings me to the DC Housing Authority. While the board is looking at rent reasonableness, we know that HUD has a second investigation on DCHA's rent reasonableness policies. DCHA is likely to owe the federal government even more money than it already does. Former DCHA board member Bill Slover recently spoke at a U.S. Senate hearing about the impact of DCHA's policies on housing inflation in the district. For residents in areas of the city that have seen massive redevelopment, such as Southwest, our rents are rising far more rapidly than the rest of the city because our neighborhood is flooded with luxury housing. DCHA compounds the housing inflation problem with overvalued housing vouchers, particularly for gentrified neighborhoods. DCHA relies on a tool that does not account for, insofar as I can tell, what the market actually yields, meaning what people pay in rent. If a landlord posts a monthly rent on a website and then offers deep rent discounts to incentivize new tenants, DCHA is relying on the posted rents in order to establish rent reasonableness. In fact, I've spoken to dozens of market renters in these new luxury buildings who cannot afford the rent increases, which is based on the percentage of the original posted rent, not as a percentage of what they paid. DCHA is adding to this very sick system of inflated housing costs that warrants intense council oversight. The second issue related to the district's poor planning and concentrating redevelopment in a handful of neighborhoods is that it affects DCHA's investment decisions in landlord conduct. DCHA has engaged in intense slumlording and divestment in Southwest public housing, particularly at Greenleaf, which is slated for redevelopment. DCHA representatives told OAG that Greenleaf need not be in the lawsuit on public health and safety violations since its redevelopment was imminent. So 2 public housing communities received more security measures, whereas Greenleaf did not. Much of the crime that we are seeing stems from DCHA's negligence, slumlording, and lack of responsibility as a landlord for public health and safety.